Celebrating the hard work and determination of our area athletes. This is The Score on WQAD News 8.
Good evening and welcome to the Score Sunday. It's been a week of transition in the local world of sports as we move our focus from the fall sports to the winter sports, but we still have a football team left and they will be playing for a state championship this coming week. That team is Easton Valley. The Riverhawks won their semifinal contest 42-36 to advance to Thursday's 8-man championship game. We'll talk to them about their season and the upcoming championship game. We will then get you caught up on all the college signings from this past week as many local student athletes made their college choices official, with several going to the Division I level. And our FCA Story of the Week brings us to Rock Island as their new boys basketball coach, Mark Polight, gets ready for his first season with the Rocks. And we'll hear from some of the girls basketball coaches on both sides of the river as they get set to tip off their seasons this coming week. We start tonight with the Easton Valley Football team. They are making a historic run this year in football and stand just one game away from winning a state championship in the 8-man game.
We're now joined by 3 players and the head coach of the Easton Valley Riverhawks football team. We have Andon Farrell, Connor Groover, Dylan Beck, and head coach Tony Johnson with us. Guys, first of all, congratulations on a great season. You're 12-0. You're heading off to the 8-man championship game for the first time in school history. It's been a really fun year for you guys. Coach, I'll kind of start with you. Take me back to the beginning of the year. Knowing the success this team has had over the past 4 or 5 years, did you see a run like this coming for this team this year?
You know, every time we start the off season, we sit down and we write down goals. And a lot of the guys on the team's goal was to get to the Dome. A lot of the guys' goals were to win it all. And so for that to happen, we had to get to work right away. Mm-hmm. And so we've been putting the time in. We started last November, lifting weights 3 times a week and then doing our summer stuff. And I knew that the dedication that I had throughout those months was going to lead us to have a very successful year. But week 1 was a big, tough game against Don Bosco, who's kind of been one of those teams that we haven't been able to get over the hump with. And week 1, we took care of business. So we figured after that week that there was a lot of good things on the horizon, and I was definitely right with that.
Andon, talk about that game. Was it the Don Bosco game? Was it another game this year that you guys started to really believe in yourselves?
I think during the off season, we all started to believe in ourselves. Like, we saw ourselves working hard and better. The Bosco game just put it the truth that hey, we're gonna be really good this year. Everybody came out, played hard, played fired up, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the season.
Connor, did that game just kind of really get the ball rolling? Is that all that game kind of did for you guys, knowing that you had the talent, the players you had around you? That game against Bosco kind of just get the ball rolling?
Yeah, we knew they were a really good team the last few years. They've been to the Dome so many years in a row, and beating them week 1 was really exciting and got everything going for us.
Dylan, what makes this team good? I've seen you guys play a few times. I've seen the scores you put up, and it's usually around 60 points a game. So what makes this team so good this year?
I think when someone messes up, we don't yell at each other. We tell each other what we did wrong and tell them how to fix it, and then we go from there.
Coach, do you feel like this team holds each other accountable? Whether, like Dylan just said, if there's a mistake, if there's a good play, whatever, that you're on to the next, and this team you don't have to do a lot of correcting on the sidelines. They kind of do it themselves a little bit.
Absolutely. You know, this is a wonderful group of guys. 29 guys working together as one, and they definitely hold each other accountable. And I think that starts in the off season too, making sure everyone shows up for weights, because when we do weights, it's in the morning, and so it takes some dedication to get there, 3 times a week in February. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they definitely hold each other accountable, and we all want the same thing.
Coach, I'll stay with you. You win the game to get to the Dome, which is the first time in school history. What was that game like, knowing that you kind of set history at that point, but yet you realize this group had a lot more in front of it? That was nice. That's great. But the goals were still out there and obtainable at that point.
Yeah, that was a big hurdle game for us, though. We've been to that spot the last 2 years and haven't delivered. And so, this year was different than the other two. We got to play at home, but we were also playing a team that we'd already faced in the regular season. So there was things that we really had to prepare for because we played a really tough Key High team. And so, the boys just want to work, and we had extreme focus all week. We had a really good week of practice, and I think at the beginning of the game, I kind of had the sense that things were going to go pretty well that night. And boy, were we right! That was a really fun night.
And to know you were going to the Dome, how was that week of practice last week? I know it was a kind of a short week because you played on Wednesday in your semifinal game. But what was that week of practice like, those few days of practice like, knowing that you're going to go do something that you've never done before?
It just made everybody focus on the team. Everybody on the team focus better, and everybody wanted to win that game at the Dome. Like, we were excited to be at the Dome, but that wasn't our goal. We wanted to win the game. So everybody practiced and played harder during practice.
Connor, do you remember walking into the Dome, seeing that field, seeing the stadium, and what were your first thoughts?
Yeah, we walked in there the night before we played for about 10 minutes, and we kind of got the wow factor out of the way, and it was like, wow, this is amazing. It's like we got through our head that we didn't come here just to lose right away. We came here to play more than once.
Dylan, were you thankful that you did that the night before so you didn't have to worry about that part of it on Wednesday when you actually took the field to play your game?
Yeah, I believe it helped because we just saw it and didn't have to be like, holy crap, this is it, the day we had to play.
Tony, your perspective on that game, it was really back and forth, which you kind of expect in an 8-man game. What did these guys, or what did you see out of your team that kind of put them over the top in that semifinal game?
What I saw was a tremendous amount of heart. You're going up against the defending state champions, so and we're going up against a team, not only a defending state champs, but a team that's been there for our last 5 years, and we're the new guy, and so we had some hurdles to overcome, but once we settled in, the boys, I think they picked up on it right away that we could definitely do this, and it's just like it's been all year. There's no stopping the guys. They keep fighting until the very end, and we were able to come out on top.
And you guys got it, and then they kind of jumped right back at you, smacked you in the mouth a little bit before halftime. What was the challenge that you guys put forth in that second half that made the difference, do you think?
Just staying focused and to keep playing hard. Nobody gave up. When they came back and we were up 21-8, and they came back to get the lead, we could all quit right there and said, oh, we can't beat these guys. But everybody stayed focused. Everybody kept playing hard, and we ended up coming out with a win.
Mm-hmm. Connor, everybody talks about offense when they think 8-man football, but this game came down to a couple defensive plays for you guys. Kind of talk about that part of it. Yeah, I know you're the quarterback, but how proud were you of the defense and what they were able to do for you guys to secure this win?
Yeah, I mean, that was everything because right at the beginning of the third quarter, we got stopped and went down 2 scores, and then we came back and we got a couple more stops and we scored again. We went up by 1, and we were like, okay, these guys can't stop us. And then that changed the momentum to the defense, and they came through with a couple clutch stops, and we were still able to punch it in on offense.
Dylan, when did it set in that you were going to be playing for a state championship?
I didn't even really feel it right after the game. I realized maybe a couple hours when we were on the bus going home.
So you're playing for a state championship, which is going to be a first for Easton Valley in school history. That's great, but you want to win it, Coach. Kind of talk about that part of it. Is like, yeah, guys, we're there, but we're here. We might as well win this thing, right?
Exactly. And we're going to work. That we teach the boys that when we go on the road, we go on business trips, and so. The boys will be getting off the bus in their ties, and we're going to show up to the Dome in our ties like we did last week, and nothing's going to change. We have a task at hand, and we're looking for that last win of the season. And you talk about especially with seniors, this could be it. Well, this is it, and we're going to get everything we can possibly get out of these 9 seniors. That's for sure. I have no doubt in my mind, and I really feel strongly that we'll come out on top.
Coach, I'm going to stay with you to wrap up here. You mentioned the ties. You coach in the tie. Is that the principal part in you, or is that just something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, well, I've never been to the Dome before, and we're all about great first impressions. And we teach these guys a lot more than just football, and so we wanted to make sure that everybody knew what we were about, and we were there in business, and what it was going to be.
Play a team in Cam, and everybody's talking about their offense, this about Cam, that about Cam. Do you guys as a little bit of fuel to the fire as you head into the championship game this week?
Yeah, we know what Cam has. We have film, and we know what we have to do. They have a phenomenal team. They're 12-0. It's not by mistake. They have a good football team, and so the task is in front of us. We got to figure out what we need to do to attack them offensively and how to stop them on defense. And we wouldn't have it any other way. They don't just hand out championships. You got to go out and earn it. So.
Well, guys, congratulations on the season. Congratulations on making it to the state championship game, and good luck. We're all rooting for you here, so might as well go out there and go ahead and win this thing this week. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Time for our first break. Up next, making it official. We take a look at where local student athletes will be taking their game next season.
The Score continues on WQAD News 8.
An outstanding trio of talent out of Geneseo High School is signed, sealed, and ready to deliver at the next level. Cammie Ludwig, Hannah Copeland, and Malachi Shade all signing letters of intent. All-state basketball player Cammie Ludwig is off to play in the Big East to play for the Providence Friars. Copeland is taking volleyball to even greater heights at Missouri St. Louis. And speaking of heights, Shade signs with Wichita State for pole vaulting. He was state runner-up this past season. Gratitude, eagerness, and relief are definitely the themes of the day.
They say you get the feeling when you know, and I got that feeling, and I kind of looked to my mom. It was unexpected. I didn't plan to commit when I was there, but I just knew that I couldn't get that anywhere else, and the atmosphere was amazing. I bonded so well with the coaches, and all the players were super welcoming.
It just makes it all worth it, really. And it's been fun along the way, the process, getting to this point, and I'm just excited to continue working hard just to get ready for the next level.
I saw a lot of faces of people that I've just known for a long time, and it was really awesome to be able to share that with everybody, and obviously that's the whole point of the ceremony. But it was awesome to finally have that decision made and be able to share that with everybody that I've gone to school with for years now.
Now to Moline, the Maroons with 7 student athletes going to the next level. 4 of them will go D1. Cole Brower will wrestle in the Big Ten at Illinois. Ella Ramsey taking her volleyball skills to Loyola Chicago. And a couple of soccer players. Elizabeth Galvin signs with Eastern Illinois, while Caroline Hazen will play at Northern Iowa.
It just makes me work harder. It's something bigger to look forward to. Obviously, people from Moline have done it with John Ontiveros and Kevin Puebla and Matt Lackey, and I want to keep that tradition going.
It was definitely one of my biggest goals. Sitting down with my parents, going through pros and cons, I knew that I wanted to play at Loyola.
I've always wanted to go to the next level. I've always wanted to push myself to get better. So I'm just really excited to see where the next 4 years will bring me. I think hard work is really the reason I'm here. Is just, taking extra time, putting in extra effort, and so kind of getting to experience what I've accomplished and seeing it all come together is just an amazing feeling.
Congrats to all the Maroons who signed to play at the next level. Now we hop over to Rock Island High School, where 3 Rock Island Rocks are off to play in college. This group highlighted by a Division I signee, Taylor Pannell. Pannell is one of the top-ranked softball players in the country. She reopened her recruiting after decommitting from Auburn. Now Pannell will be taking her softball skills to Tennessee to play for the Volunteers.
It was a relief finally finding Tennessee, because no one else felt like Tennessee, but it was a long process with COVID and everything, and committing when I was in 8th grade to Auburn and then decommitting. It was just a very long process, and I'm relieved it's over, and I'm very happy with my decision.
We would also like to congratulate Olivia Scholl, who will swim for Southwest Minnesota State, and Uda Kimba as she takes her soccer skills to the University of Minnesota Crookston. Now to Assumption High School, where 3 Lady Knights put pen to paper. Bella Naiji will be taking her softball talents to the Division I level, signing with Toledo. Jade Jackson, a 4-year starter for the Assumption soccer team, is headed to the pitch at Minnesota State Mankato. And Carly Rolfe will continue her volleyball career as she signs with Kansas City Rockhurst, all three realizing hard work and determination over the years getting them to this point.
I feel so accomplished, and big thanks to my pitching coach, Trent Rubley, and all the hours that I've spent with him. I mean, I've been with him for 6 years, and he's taught me almost everything I know. And big thank you to Coach Farrell for leading our team and for being a good leader.
Just the fact to be able to sign my name on the paper and say, this is me, like this is the next chapter of my life. It's just amazing.
I've thought about this day a lot ever since I was really little. I've wanted to sign somewhere, and so when I finally got the opportunity to, it was super exciting. And then now that it's like happened, it's crazy to think that now I'm officially a Hawk.
Congrats to all those student athletes. It's halftime. Up next, ready to make a mark. The Rock Island basketball coach is ready for his first season. Why he feels he will stay a while at his new school. It's next in our FCA Story of the Week on the Score Sunday. Traveling is generally not a part of the plan in basketball, but in Mark Polight's case, it's a game changer. After stops on the college, junior college, and at 2 other Quad City high schools, FCA's Dan Pearson says Polight is well-traveled and ready to unpack as coach of the Rock Island Rocks.
I want to win state.
Well, don't we all? Jalen Randall likely shares the sentiment of every high school basketball player in Illinois. Love of the game will stir that.
I kind of breathe, sleep, eat basketball. Like, that's on my mind 24/7. Like, it pushes me harder in the classroom. It pushes me harder. It makes me want my teammates to go harder because I just love seeing everybody. I love seeing everybody succeed in this sport.
The man bringing it together, Mark Polight. His first year at Rocky. Western Big Six product from United Township, where he also coached. Coming off 2 excellent years at Davenport North.
Basketball is a game of symmetry. It's a game of flow. It's a game of feel. And when you're trying to incorporate a new system in with guys that have played together for some time, but you know, there's going to be some hiccups and some bumps in the road. But a few days in, I think our guys have done a really good job. I think the biggest thing for us is how coachable you're going to be.
Polight understands coaching the coach, his staff, ownership for all. Not about me.
This is their chance and their opportunity to be able to do something that we did long ago. But now it's their time. It's not our time. It's their time. We let our guys coach, you know, and you were brought here for a reason, and now go coach the kids. And I think they really enjoy that because they have some peace. They have a peace. They have ownership in what they're doing.
Polight continues to mind his manners when it comes to coaching. Relationship first, embracing the training he's had in 3-dimensional coaching, a framework that finds the heart behind the jersey.
I think sometimes as coaches we can focus so much on the talent and not realize that there's a human being there that has needs and wants and desires and aspirations and all of those things. And I think it's important for us as coaches to be able to tap into that. And I think once you tap into that, the motivation comes easy. The coaching comes easy because now you have an athlete that really wants to do the things that you're asking them to do.
I like walking down the hallways and I talk to them, you know, we just talk about personal stuff, basketball, everything. What you mean? You know, I like how he just converses with the students and everything.
Mark Polight, cherishing the game, but more so the people basketball brings into his life. Opportunity to impact, influence, empower.
We want all of our student athletes to be able to have a positive experience, to be able to say when they leave here, wow, that was fun. I got something from it. There's things that I've learned that are going to carry on for the rest of my life. And if we're not doing those things, we're not doing our jobs.
With the FCA Story of the Week, I'm Dan Pearson.
Thanks, Dan. Time for our last break. Up next, ready to tip off what some girls basketball coaches have to say about the upcoming season. It's next on the Score Sunday. High school basketball practice is officially underway on both sides of the river. The Western Big Six hosting their inaugural girls basketball banquet this past week. To the Rock Island Botanical Center we go for the Western Big Six Girls Coaches Banquet. The conference has been doing a boys banquet for decades, so they decided to start one for the ladies. Conference coaches previewed their teams, told a few jokes along the way, and it was an important evening for the sport that continues to see great success in our area.
I mean, it's just good for our sport, good for the Quad Cities. You know, the Western Big Six and girls basketball in the area is so good. And they're great coaches and great players, and it's just a chance for us to be able to market our brand of girls basketball in the Western Big Six.
Past time that we had one on the girls side. Now, I've been with the boys for the last 5 years, so I've enjoyed our coach, Sean Taylor. He's always a crowd favorite. And for us to get together and talk about the season on the girls' side, I think it's long overdue.
The boys' Western Big Six banquet is this coming Wednesday at the Botanical Center. Over on the Iowa side, they have been doing the same thing for a number of years. The Downport Newton Optimist Club hosting the annual girls' banquet at the River Center. It's a new-look conference this season, with 5 new coaches taking over programs. But the talent remains the same. This year's league promises to be another battle night in and night out with depth from top to bottom.
I think there's 6 teams, give or take, that they could go win it, and us being one of them. But I know there's a lot of young talent as well in a lot of teams, and like you said, with new coaches, what different spice are they going to bring that's going to help their program get to that next level?
I would like to think that we're, one of those teams as well. But yeah, the MAC is loaded. It's got great coaches, got great players. And every Tuesday and Friday night there's going to be a battle, and we embrace those expectations, frankly, and we're looking forward to that.
A lot of teams are returning, quite a few upperclassmen with a lot of experience, so I think they'll kind of be in the forefront to begin the season, but I also think there's quite a few teams that have some youth movements going on that once they maybe can kind of gel as a group, that they'll kind of come on towards the middle and maybe latter part of the season.
It's so much competition in the league, and that's something that's not, common around girls sports or girls basketball. So I'm super excited. I can't say that enough.
Practice is in full swing with games starting for some teams later this week. Time to announce this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standouts. We'll start with Charlie Simpson from Easton Valley. He rushes for 142 yards and 2 scores in the Riverhawks semifinal win. And Patrick Lower from Fulton. He throws for 369 yards and has 3 touchdowns. Here are the rest of this week's MTI Score Standouts. Taylor Burr from Pleasant Valley. She takes 3rd in the 100 breaststroke and 5th in the 200 IM at the state meet. And Sophie Greco from Moline. She breaks the school record in the 200 IM at the state meet. You can vote for this week's Score Standouts on Twitter @thescorewqad or go to the sports page, wqad.com, and follow the link. Polls are open until Thursday at noon. That's our show for tonight. We'd like to thank you for watching, and we hope to see you back here next week for the Score Sunday.